When you have a naturally bright kid, the early years can feel like a breeze. They learn to read effortlessly, absorb facts like a sponge, and glide right through elementary school without ever breaking a sweat. It's easy to assume their future is completely set. But then, for millions of families, a quiet crisis hits in middle school or high school. That same child who used to love learning suddenly becomes deeply anxious. They start procrastinating for days over simple assignments, throwing intense tantrums over a minor mistake, or completely shutting down and refusing to do their work at all. As a parent, it looks like they've suddenly become lazy, stubborn, or unmotivated. But it isn't laziness. It's gifted kid burnout. And the hardest truth we have to face as parents is that the very praise and environment we think is helping them thrive might actually be setting them up to crash. In this video, we're going to look at the hidden psychology behind why smart kids burn out, how it masks itself as bad behavior at home, and the exact steps you can take to protect your child's mental health while keeping their love for learning alive. To protect our kids, we have to understand how a gifted child constructs their identity. When a child is naturally intelligent, they constantly receive praise for who they are rather than the effort they put in. They hear things like, "You're so smart," "You're natural," or "You don't even have to try." While this praise comes from a place of pure love, child psychology shows it accidentally creates a fixed mindset. The child's brain forms a dangerous subconscious equation. My parents and teachers love me because I am smart. Being smart means things are easy. Therefore, if I have to try hard at something, it means I am no longer smart and I am losing my value. Most children naturally build a tolerance for frustration because they struggle with basic milestones like learning to ride a bike or mastering long division. They get used to the feeling of failing, making mistakes, and trying again. But a gifted child often sails through school for years without ever experiencing true academic struggle. Because their brains process information quickly, they never actually learn how to study, how to manage time, or how to handle the emotional weight of an error. Their entire self-worth becomes tied to effortless perfection. Gifted kid burnout happens the exact moment the work finally gets hard enough to require actual sustained effort. Because they don't have the coping mechanisms for struggle, their brain treats a difficult assignment as an identity crisis. Facing the possibility of failure is terrifying, so they completely shut down to protect themselves from proving they aren't perfect. Because gifted kids are highly perceptive, they rarely say, "Mom, Dad, I'm feeling deeply anxious." Instead, their burnout masks itself as behavioral issues at home, which frequently leads to unnecessary arguments. Where parents see defiance or laziness, like refusing to start a school project, the child is actually experiencing paralyzing perfectionism. They are terrified that their work won't be flawless, so they avoid starting it to delay the failure. It's a psychological defense mechanism called self-handicapping. Deep down, their brain reasons, if I work hard for 2 weeks and get a B, it means I'm stupid. But if I only work on it for 1 hour the night before and get a B, I can blame the lack of time, not my intelligence. Where parents see extreme irritability or snapping over minor corrections on their homework, the child is experiencing intense anxiety. A single red mark on a paper doesn't just feel like feedback. To them, it feels like proof that they are a fraud and everyone is about to find out. You might also notice frequent physical complaints, like chronic headaches or mystery stomach aches before school mornings. This isn't faking to get out of class. Their nervous system is quite literally trapped in a constant state of fight or flight from self-imposed pressure. Finally, you will often see these kids completely abandon hobbies, sports, or creative outlets the exact moment they stop being instantly good at them. If they try something new and struggle during the first week, they will quit, claiming they just don't like it. In reality, they are terrified of looking imperfect. It's heartbreaking to watch your child build their own emotional prison, but you have more power to change this dynamic than you realize. The goal isn't to lower your expectations for their future, but to fundamentally alter what you value in the present. As parents, we cannot change the fact that our kids are bright, but we can change how they view their intelligence. Here is how you can step in and reshape their relationship with achievement. First, shift your daily language by praising the process and deleting the word smart. Remove the words smart or genius from your regular praise. Instead, explicitly call out their strategy, focus, and resilience. Try saying, "I loved how you didn't give up on that problem even when it got frustrating," or "Your hard work on that project really shows." This teaches them that your pride is tied to their effort, which is something they can control, rather than an innate trait they are terrified of losing. Second, normalize imperfection by failing out loud on purpose. Gifted kids need to see that adults mess up and survive. Normalize failure in your household. If you burn dinner or make a mistake with a household chore, call it out cheerfully in front of them. "Well, I completely messed that up. Let's see how I can fix it." Let them see that failure is just data, not a disaster. Third, introduce safe struggle through high-friction hobbies. Encourage your child to engage in activities outside of school where they cannot be instantly perfect. Things like martial arts, rock climbing, coding, pottery, or learning a complex instrument. When they inevitably hit a wall and want to quit, coach them through the emotional frustration rather than letting them walk away. Celebrate the effort it takes to get through a difficult plateau. When we intentionally create a home environment where struggling is celebrated, the heavy armor of perfectionism can finally start to melt away. They begin to realize that their mind is a tool to be developed, not a fragile glass trophy that will shatter at the first drop of a grade. Our job as parents of gifted children isn't to ensure they never fail so they can maintain a flawless track record. Our job is to teach them how to fail so that when they enter the real world, a setback doesn't break them. Your child is so much more than their test scores, their advanced reading level, or their potential to achieve. When we show them that our love and pride are tied to their character and their willingness to try, not their ability to be perfect, we give them the ultimate gift, the freedom to grow safely. If you're navigating the ups and downs of raising a high-ability child, subscribe to the channel for more evidence-based parenting strategies. Let me know in the comments, what's the biggest challenge you're facing with your bright child right now? Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.